Welcome back, Quick Hands Rugby League Podcast. This is the pod that tells it like it is. Season 3, episode 11. Tanya, George, welcome, guys.
Hey,
Hi,
we're back.
No Artie tonight, unfortunately.
No Artie
Artie
I'm
is
missing Artie
getting
tonight.
ready for his daughter's wedding on Saturday, so he's got more important
getting-
things to do than sit here and argue with us.
He's getting ready for a wedding today. Mayhem at the Artie house. I guarantee. I was there on Sunday. Mayhem. Good luck to him.
How is everyone?
Good. What a sensational week of
Good.
rugby league. Absolutely sensational. Besides one blowout, the rest were, I don't know. The rest were interesting, intriguing. The new style of rugby league. Get a lead and then I'll run you down. So
I'm sure we'll get to that, yeah. How about you, Tan? How's your week?
Yeah, good. Busy. And it's only Tuesday. I keep forgetting the days. Ever since we had all those short weeks, because we have an extra day up here, Labor Day.
Yeah.
So we have
Last
the
Monday,
three.
wasn't it? Was it
Yeah,
last
so
Monday
we
or
have
one
the 3
before?
short weeks and then a full week and then another short week, which is just a nightmare
is
if
it
you're a business owner.
for work? You mean?
Well, I don't get paid annual leave.
You got to pay yourself.
I got to pay myself where I go to work.
I know.
It's good to be back in the studio, George.
Good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yesterday was interesting. Last week was interesting. I guess a necessity, but there's nothing like having something to eat before and
Yeah.
coming into the room and having tea on the big screen.
Let's go. Now, Artie's not here to give us the good thing of the week. Either
Artie's
one
not
of you want to offer something up?
I'm enjoying the rugby league. It's settled down now, and there's a pattern, so I'm enjoying the rugby league. I'm actually sitting down, and I'm not knowing who's going to win. I have no idea sometimes. No idea. And you know what? When it's 20-0 or 34-0, I think, oh, the team's won. Guess what? No, I'm wrong. I'm wrong, T. So yeah,
Oh
that's
my
good.
God.
Rugby league. I'm enjoying the
This-
rugby league.
Oh, it was wild.
Wild.
We're gonna talk about it, but it was
Yeah.
completely insane.
It was insane this week. Wild.
Mm.
Yourself, Nicola? What do you got?
That's all right.
what's in
I'll
your-
ask myself.
Oh, no, what's in your bin? What's in your bin?
What's in my bin?
Who's in your bin?
It's a funny one this week. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Jerome Luai's dad
Oh, Jerome.
posted on Instagram after the Tigers got walloped 64-0. He posted "Get Out" clause activated. So it's nice to see Jerome Luai being on the receiving end of an Instagram post that makes him look like an idiot, seeing as he's the one who's usually doing it. So like father, like son, together they take 2 hours to 60 minutes.
Again, it's a silly
Full
thing
fed
to do.
Central. Yeah.
Silly thing to do. Silly thing to
I got a
do.
good laugh out of that. That was
Yeah.
good. That was funny.
Silly thing to do.
Let's rip into controversy corner.
Let's do
So this afternoon, Brandon Smith's a Rooster.
Oh, really? It's over.
Yeah,
It's done. He's
switched
gone.
over. He's going to continue his
Okay.
rehab there.
Okay.
I'm not sure when he'll be ready to play. I don't know if you know.
Back end of the year, apparently. So after Origin. So good luck to him. He never really worked there at the Roosters. Now he's with Master Coach, Super Coach. So hopefully he'll have a happier time because he's a quality rugby league player. So
And they're doing sorry, what did I say? Brandon Smith a Rooster. I meant a Rabbitoh.
Rabbitoh. Sorry, I'm
Sorry.
wrong. No, I think.
No, I said Rooster.
Oh, Rooster. Yeah. So he's going to the Rabbits.
He's going to the
and-
he's signed with the Rabbits. Yeah.
good. Look, it might be a good move because he's been in the wilderness for a while now. So look, all the best.
They're
for him.
doing a bit of a clean out. So Dom Young apparently is going to the Knights, but they've hit a bit of a stumbling
Yeah,
block.
back to the Knights.
Yeah, but they've hit a bit of a stumbling block over money. So
Money,
it's kind of stuck in the wilderness at the moment.
Dom Young.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. That didn't work out either. So I find it intriguing that Roosters usually get the man that they want and get the right human being, but they got it wrong. The last couple of years, they've got it wrong. And thank God they didn't get David Peter
Yeah.
because that would have been a wrong move too,
Yeah.
I think. But the Dom Young, intriguing because at Knights, he looked like he could be anything. And at the Roosters, he didn't look like a first grader at
Yeah.
stages. So he's going to go eventually.
Yeah, today. Yeah.
No, Young, he's going.
Oh,
Eventually he's going to go.
I think so. Yeah, it's inevitable.
Just some money sort
They'll
of
sort
thing.
it out. They'll sort it out.
Well, you know what? He's got 3 years there, so they're going to have to chip in.
Well, they're taking $1 million out of the Roosters cap by taking him back.
Well, obviously,
He was on 500 a season, but there's been a disagreement over how much for this year. So
this year. Okay.
apparently the Knights kind of retracted what they had initially agreed to do, and
Not-
Robbo today spoke about it. Not happy.
Not happy. Okay. Well, they're obviously clearing the decks out for something. I wonder what that could be.
Yeah.
T.
Well, DC is going to be there next
Well,
year.
I was going to say not
Is
officially
that
yet.
confirmed though?
It's not
Nah,
confirmed,
but
no.
you can bet your house on it.
He's
He'll
trying
be
to
there.
break my heart, Nick.
He'll be
Well,
there for. He'll be there for what? You want him to go? The Dolphins have already pulled out.
I
The Dolphins have
don't
already
know
pulled
how
out
I
of the race.
feel about him wearing a Roosters jersey.
The Dolphins have already pulled out of the race, so it's a done deal.
Well, they're
Such a shame.
clearing the decks out for something, T, obviously. So apparently, Sandon Smith, they're showing him the door as well, which I can't believe they're showing him the door, but they're shopping him around. So they're obviously clearing the decks for something. So
Yeah.
And,
so if you
yeah.
put two and two together, it must be DC.
Because who's going? Jared. Who's going in DCs from Canberra again? We talked about last week.
Jamal Fogarty.
Yeah,
Jamal Fogarty.
he's good. I like
Yeah,
him.
He's good.
he's good.
Yeah.
What about the wet ball gate?
Tell me about it. You just told me a second ago.
So initially, the Panthers were caught. The Panthers trainer was caught spraying the ball before they were playing it, right? But
Brain
then the
surgeons.
Cowboys were caught doing the same thing.
Of course they were. Brain surgeons. But you
So,
know what? I bet if we get cameras.
I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Oh, no, but I bet if we get cameras on all the trainers, half of them will be doing it. I reckon.
Well, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure they train. I'm sure they train with wet balls. That doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
But they've all got sweaty hands. I don't see what the big.
You know what?
We're not talking about the laced up leather brown.
Remember those
balls
ones?
that we grew up
oh
on?
man,
Yeah.
they were like so.
They were like bowling balls.
Like soap, Nicole. I remember them. They were so heavy.
If someone
and slip
threw
through your hand,
If
slip
someone
through
threw a
your
misguided pass and that hit you in the Jets
Oh.
crackers, you were on the ground for 5 minutes.
hand.
I'm telling you, Tan, trust me.
Tan, if it hits you in the head, HIA.
Because
straight away.
I
Especially when they're wet, right?
well, Corey was like, "Oh, you're going to talk about this on the potty," and because I've just been like flat out with like the book and other stuff, I hadn't even, and I was a bit sick yesterday, and I didn't even read it, and I was reading into it, and I was like, and then the trainers can't touch the balls, and then I watched because how it apparently got brought up was someone was videoing it, some random person in the crowd was videoing it, and then it's just been, but I don't know if anything's happened
Nothing's
since then.
No,
No, nothing's happened.
I don't think there's anything to it, man.
No.
The ball's wet, the
They
ball's
don't do
dry.
anything.
I don't think it makes
It
sense.
might have got a warning, and that's about it by
Yeah.
the NRL. But look, I don't think it's a big enough incident to move the needle. So, but it's a good talking point.
Yeah.
So we know, obviously, now that Western Australia
Yeah.
will be hosting the 18th team, the Perth Bears,
Look, yeah,
and there's talk about who the coach may be, and now they're talking Mal Meninga.
yeah.
What do you guys think?
Well, number one,
Yeah.
I've got a soft spot. I had a soft spot back in the day for the Bears, so I'm happy about the Bears being back in the competition because they sort of got a rough end of the pineapple.
North, good old North Sydney.
Yeah, and I think Perth is the perfect place for a rugby league team. Now, a coach.
I should call them the Northwest Bears.
North. West, oh,
Yeah.
call them anything, man. I just want to see the black and red back. Now, coach. Now, I understand why Mal might be in the mix as a figurehead. I don't think he'll be catching anything beside the nights out.
I got a lot of respect for Mal Meninga,
Oh, he's a straight
right?
man.
But as a coach,
No, he's not going to be.
he's not a club coach.
He's not going to be.
He's had one gig in his entire career at Canberra, which was a dismal failure. Even though they'll both deny it, both parties agreed to move him on, right? And he's never coached any other club ever.
Man.
Why would he be interested in doing it now? He's put his hand up.
He put his
apparently.
hand up. Yeah.
What's his private agenda here? He's never shown any interest in club coaching up until now, right? Let's be honest. He's coached Queensland to 25 series in a row,
Yeah.
but every time and Tan, you tell me if I'm wrong. Every time the camera went to the change rooms at half time, Michael Hagan was addressing the team and Mal was standing in the corner.
Michael Hagan might still be there.
Mate,
Hagan might
if
be
he
there.
takes Hago with him,
Hagan
right?
might be there. I don't know.
So I just think it's the wrong option. If you want, if you want a public profile, get him over there in some capacity. But you want to get you want him to start losing every week, you then get him over there as a coach.
Look, you know what? The original coach they had suggested. Originally, I go, oh yeah, it doesn't matter. But what I've seen him do in England, Brad Arthur is the best fit.
I
for
think
that
he'd be a
team.
good fit. Yeah.
Best fit to bring up a young team or to breed some youngsters as well. If you want profile,
I get it. Now it's
I get it,
profile. I get
yeah,
it, but I don't understand why he's interested in coaching a
I have
club
no
now.
idea. No idea. He's never been interested for decades.
No, he did it for 5 minutes at Canberra.
Yeah,
Didn't work out.
And he's the current Australian coach, so he's got a gig anyway.
I mean, we could coach Australia. Let's be honest.
True.
It's not hard. You're picking the best players in the country,
Not true.
except for the ones who go and play for Smile.
Yeah. Well,
So
still,
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Look, I don't know. We'll see. I think that's going to get resolved very quickly in the next week.
Yeah,
The coach. So
I think they need to. It's only a year and a half away,
gee,
so they better hurry up.
so close. Yeah. So
Yeah, when are they doing? I didn't remember
27.
it being late.
27.
Oh, was
Yeah.
it this late last year, or was I just dreaming?
I think the
and
Dolphins were rushed in pretty quick as well. Were they very
only
similar?
they only had a year and a half as well to get a squad, and and you know what? Considering how short the time the Dolphins had, they've done pretty well. Mind you, the Dolphins had a base. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, they're already there. Yeah,
they're already there. They got a bunch of kids to pick from. I mean, so it's a bit unfair. But WA has got to start from scratch. So we'll see what happens. But they got to sort the coach out. I hope it's Brad Arthur. But if it's Mao, I hope Brad Arthur's with him. I hope Brad Arthur's or what's Hagen. I hope Hagen's with him. So that's what will happen. He'll get if it is him, he'll get some staff underneath him and he'll be okay. But look, I don't even know why you would pick him. But anyway, it's Mao.
Anyway, it's Mao. But
It's Mao.
so do you guys want to talk Origin now or after?
Let's talk Origin now.
Let's talk Origin
Let's
now.
talk Origin
It's when
now.
is the team picked this Sunday?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Queensland Sunday.
New South Wales Sunday, Queensland
Monday. Yeah,
Is that how they do it?
same scenario. So next Tuesday we'll have the team list in front of us, but
So-
we can speculate.
We've got our own predicted lineups, right?
Got our predicted lineups.
Who
Yeah.
wants to go first?
Well, let's talk in general. How about we talk New South Wales? You're okay too? We're talking New South Wales first.
Look at
Yeah.
that face.
We're talking. You'll get your go. You'll get your go.
I get quiet during Origin. I'm like, oh.
Why? Use are the ones
We have
we
a
got to
bet.
beat.
We have a bet this year.
You have the biggest listeners as well in New South Wales, so hope they don't get offended easy.
Nah, she's right. Mind you, we got another Queensland on board. I noticed we got an email from the north of England, so that must be Queensland too, isn't it? That must be Queensland. So yeah, Queenslanders are jumping on too. The fullback, okay. The incoming is Edwards, of course.
Yeah.
Okay. But what does Teddy have to do?
I've got Tedesco.
Yep.
Yeah.
No. Look, Teddy, 1.5 try involvements, 1 try assist a game, 200 meters, 7 tackle busts. What more do you want to? What more do you want the guy to do? Now I've got to put on my what's the coach's call again? What's his name? Our coach.
Daily.
Yeah, I've got to put our daily coach. I've got to, so there's two ways of thinking. Who I think should be in the team, and Daly is a unique individual. So, and we saw that from the last time he had the team. Now, I like what you said, Nicola. Teddy, yeah, fantastic. He's going to pick Edwards.
Yeah.
He'll pick Edwards. I would pick Edwards because not that I don't want. I think Teddy's been playing better, but you can't go back to the future now. You're gone forward. Let's not forget Pappenhausen as well. He's been lighting it up. I don't think they'll pick him, but he's got to be in the conversation surely. T, what do you think?
The only thing I heard about Pappenhausen, sorry, which is completely irrelevant and separate and totally tea, but he broke up with his girlfriend last week. So I don't know if he'll be
He had
ready.
the best game of his career on Sunday.
I think that would get him over the line, though.
I reckon.
I like it.
I'd be happy to go with him. I reckon they're going to go with a safety option.
Yeah, I think they'll go with. I think they'll go with Edwards. You say Teddy.
Yeah.
Okay, that's going to be interesting next week. You say Teddy. I say Edwards and T. You're saying for New South Wales fullback. I know you
I
don't
reckon
care.
Teddy, but I don't like him. But anyway,
You're saying Teddy. So we got 2 for Teddy.
but one last hurrah, maybe.
Look, until round 10 now, he's been playing. He's the best fullback in the comp now, but I don't believe they'll go back to the future. I really don't. I got no look. I wrote down Teddy's stats because I just wanted to show everybody because I didn't expect you to go to Teddy to show you that he's got the number one stats in the game as a fullback. But anyway, interesting. Teddy Edwards, you can't go wrong. Wingers. This is going to be interesting. Wingers. We got Toha, which I think is a moral.
Yeah.
Okay. Lomax. Is he in this week? Is he named?
Yeah,
He
he
is. Yeah.
Good. We got Lomax. Now, Daily Hat, Turbo. Must be in the mix. And this is coming from me. Karaz with 4 offloads a game, 6 tackle busts, and over 200 meters running meters. I think that's probably the 4 to choose. Now, Toho's a moral. Toho's in. I'd say Toho's in.
He has to be. Yeah.
Now, going Laurie Daly hat, knowing how he thinks, he's gonna pick Turbo.
I think I've got Lomax if he has a good game on the weekend.
I say Lomax, but my gut.
Because he's named on the wing too.
Yeah, is he
this weekend? Yeah.
Interesting. Well, Lomax is the obvious player. The obvious decision.
I mean, he was playing great up until 5 weeks ago. 4 weeks ago.
He was playing great. But what you've got is you've got a kicker, then you've got an attacking threat. When they put bombs up, he's the one. Yeah, he's the best bomb retriever in the game.
Yeah.
So he's an attacking weapon. And that's who I would pick. But knowing Laurie, I've got this gut feeling he's going to pick Turbo. Turbo, who looks injured, and I don't think has played well all season. But you know what? How he thinks that Turbo can do things that other players can't do. I heard him on the radio. I heard him on SEN saying that. So that's why I say that. But I'm with you.
I think Turbo's too much of a risk.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Oh, agree.
I'm with you. I think Lomax, but I don't know how Laurie thinks it. T. Wingers.
Yeah, I feel like it would be I don't think they're gonna have Turbo. I'm glad that Artie's not on tonight. I know Artie loves Turbo, but see,
it does.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I think for you guys, because you're more familiar with the guys, but I would probably definitely To'o as well. But then is he going to be okay? Because he only came back last week.
Yeah.
Because
You know what? He's going to have another run this week, I guess.
They're all underdone.
He's going to have another run this week. But what Toho offers is two things you need in an Origin team. Because don't forget, we think that when you watch Origin, it's sparkling attack. No, for 60% of the game, you're carting it out of your red zone. You're getting out of you're in bad ball. So you need guys who or your outside backs need to do meters. That's why I question Turbo and I prefer Lomax. But guys like Toho will come and get you a cheap 10, 15 meters.
What was Lomax off for?
Sorry?
What was Lomax off? Because he's back this week.
He had a fractured foot.
Was he off for an injury?
Yeah,
fractured foot.
Yeah. Let's see him play this week, and maybe he'll play good enough for Laurie to say, "Yep, that's where I'm going." But I've got this gut feeling, and you know what? I'll say it again. He's not going to get picked, but Karaz must be in the conversation. His time's not here yet. I'd say his time's not here, but he's got to be in the conversation. Okay, so that's wingers. Centers, we have Critter, which is a moral. Latrell, that's Laurie Daly hat. And look, Best probably is not at his best as a punt, but I don't think he'll let us down. Is there any other centers you can think of?
I've got Mitchell and Crichton.
That's what Laurie's going to do, I reckon. T?
Which Crichton?
The
Christian Crichton.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what do you think?
Okay. I'm going with you guys. I want to hear Nick's opinion on this. You're asking me to comment on New South Wales players.
Yeah, I'm going to comment on Queensland
I'm just
players.
saying, I would go Latrell Mitchell and Stephen Crichton.
Yeah, I would.
I think they're the two best options we have.
Well, I would too. I mean, Crichton probably showed us last week that he's one of the elite
Yeah.
centers in the game, and Latrell can do things that other centers can't do. Now, when he decides to do them, he doesn't. You know what I mean? But if we can dial him in, well, yeah. I'm hoping that they can dial him in. So let's move on from the centers and we go halves and we've got these are the halves we've got Cleary, we got Mitch. Katoa's got to be in the conversation. I don't believe they'll pick him. And off the back of last week, which we'll talk soon, Nico, I wouldn't pick him, but he might be in the conversation, knowing Laurie Daly.
No way.
Oh, Laurie's a funny bloke.
Look,
I'm with you, but
they've
Laurie's
all
a
got one
funny
thing in
bloke.
common. They've played one good game. They play one good game every 2 months. No.
He did play well, Nico. Okay, so I guess it's a lay down thing here. Mitch at 6, and I'll say Nathan at 7.
That's what I've got.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen, and it doesn't matter if they're left or right because
They'll switch anyway.
They'll switch anyway. They'll follow each other, and when you got the scrum base, I assume Yo and Cleary. You know what?
You're assuming Yo will be the lock?
I'm assuming he'll be the lock.
That's what I've got.
Again,
Yeah.
maybe not. I don't know. I mean, Laurie's a strange human being. It excites me because to see Mitch just sitting back, waiting for his opportunity, because he's a run and gun sort of half, and Nathan sort of controlling and going square. And Mitch getting the ball and running over lines, that's going to excite me. I can't wait to see it because I don't think they've ever played together.
Not that I'm aware of.
No, so that excites me. I would really like for them to take Katoa into camp in the extended squad, so he can get a taste of it. I know he's only 20 years old, but I think he's a special human being. Props. This gets interesting. Look at all the props we've got. Payne Haas, lay down Bazette, lay down
100%,
Moral. Terrell May.
Yeah.
Terrell May, mate, we'll talk about Terrell May in a moment. Barnett.
Never heard of her.
Barnett, the Warriors player. Spencer Leniu. And
I got him on the bench.
Yeah, me too. Max King with 64 post meters and 168 running meters a game. He might be in the conversation. You said May does 180 meters and he plays 73 minutes.
He's playing in a much weaker team.
Yeah, the only little slight hesitation I have from May is that he for Origin he might not have enough leg speed. I could be wrong.
He's had a fantastic season.
No. He's up there with Haas and the Cronulla front rower. So in the front rows, and I've got to chuck this guy in because again he's the incoming captain Jake Trbojevic. Not for mine.
I don't even have him in the same suburb, let alone as in the.
I agree.
Yeah.
Just because he's the current. He's the current.
Well, if that's the case, we'll go with the incumbent halfback then.
Mitch.
Yeah. No, I'm saying Jake Trbojevic cannot be considered.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That would be.
No, I agree.
Remember, Daly's already lost his job once.
That's true. That's true. He's a strange human being. He does some fucking strange picks sometimes. Okay, so we're saying Payne Haas and Terrell May.
For me, that's me. I don't know who you have.
Yeah. Payne Haas,
Max
Terrell
King
May.
there?
No. I got Haas and May, and I got Barnett off the bench.
Okay.
That's what I
Who you got
would
at
have.
hooker?
Hooker. That's interesting. It can only be one.
There's only one.
Can only be one hooker.
For me, there's only one option.
Yeah, there's only one hooker.
Robson.
Yeah, right. I don't know where I wrote that, but yeah, Robson is going to be the hooker. He's just going to be the hooker.
Yeah.
Going to be the hooker. And we got back rowers. This is going to be fun. Back rowers. Now, the incumbent is Angus Crichton and Martin.
Can I just say, like, if there's one thing I hate about State of Origin Game 1, it's when we talk about incumbent, it's a year apart.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
I know. But guys who who've done the job once.
I
coaches.
have Liam Martin and Hudson Young.
Yep. Yeah. I've got Young on the bench, and I'll tell you why. The other candidates, Ola Kawatu, I don't think he's there. Have you noticed Lucas from the Knights, the back rower?
Not enough to play Origin.
He's probably not there.
Not
yet.
in front of some of the other names.
He's not there. And I've thrown it in just because he's a doggy. Preston's.
I got him on my bench.
And he's suspended. He can't.
Oh really?
Yeah. But what I'm suggesting they can bring him. He would be
Oh,
on
he
the
got
bench.
the four games, didn't he? Yeah. Okay.
So I suggest they could bring him in the extended squad just to get a taste.
Well, if that's the case, I would replace him with Max King on the bench then.
Okay. Yeah. But I agree. I agree with you, Crichton, and I know you didn't have Angus Crichton, did you?
No, he's not in my squad.
Yeah. So Martin, and you had Martin and Hudson Young.
Yeah, and Isaiah Yeo at lock.
Lock. I had Martin and Angus Crichton in the back row, and I've got Hudson Young coming off the bench because I need that momentum. And Lock, yeah, I agree. We've got by the way, you said hooker, and I agree with you, Reece Robson.
Yeah,
undoubtedly. The only other guy that can have a sort of a look in a young bloke, which I don't think they'll go with, Blake Brayley. I love that.
Yeah. I've got hooker covered on the bench anyway.
You got hooker covered on the bench. I think I know who that is. And we're going bench now. So what do you think?
I've got Preston, who I forgot wasn't eligible.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd replace him with Max King.
Okay.
We've got Ola Kawatu, Ben Selenu, and Cameron McInnes.
Cameron McGuinness, yeah. Okay. Do you think Drinky will get a look in?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Yeah, I got Watson, I got Spencer, and I got Hudson on the bench. I've got Drinky for an impact player, but you might be right. He's probably too far away. He'll probably get a nosebleed jumping on the plane coming to Sydney. T. Drinky.
I wonder, just to interject, or we can actually do like finish the New South Wales team. But do you think, because I get very suspicious anyway with the NRL, do you think that there is a consideration when these things are happening that if they want a particular team to win or be in the top 4, would they consider not having them play?
No.
Don't reckon?
No.
Really?
No.
Well, everything else is dodgy.
No.
Yeah, no, you're right, but no. I believe everything else.
That's the one thing they're really honest about still. That's good.
Yeah.
What are they not honest about?
Well,
Don't give me that look. Come on, answer the
we
question.
just talked about Controversy Corner. We've just seen all of these ridiculous
But you're
NRL.
alluding to Queensland being biased against Queensland, right? Even though they've won most of the...
We get a lot of... Yeah, I love that. And if we do lose this year, which I don't think we will, I will be bringing up my 3-page document of all the wins that we've had.
And you can do that while you're wearing a New South Wales jersey.
T, rest assured, Origin doesn't work if Queensland's not there, or Queensland doesn't win, or there's some drama or something in Queensland. Origin isn't about New South Wales. Origin is definitely 100% about Queensland.
It was about New South Wales for quite some time. I did have someone say to me,
I don't know. I can't remember when.
He did. No. I mean, prior, like when New South Wales, he was like, Tan, you know what? Technically, we have won more games. And I'm like, that when you guys are playing with yourselves, literally and figuratively, in New South Wales before the competition was brought to Queensland, that doesn't count.
No, but there was an interstate competition for years before the Origin.
Yeah, into New South Wales, but we don't call that state of origin, Queensland, New South Wales.
Did you look up the grasshopper?
Yeah, I had it on my story.
You want to talk about bias?
Oh my God, the legs.
Come on.
Sure.
It's funny. I've got a really bad memory. I remember moments and seconds, but I don't remember like games. I mean, very few games I remember, but the very first state of origin, can't forget it. 1980.
80. It was my 5th birthday.
Was your 5th birthday?
Yeah.
There you go. I'll never forget it. And it took a while to get traction down here. You probably got traction straight away in Queensland, but look what it is now. Look what it is now. We got a bench, and we'll compare the teams. Our team compared to the one coming out on Monday.
Yeah.
Or our next pod, and see what Laurie comes up with. Let's say Laurie stays on track, because, like I said, he does some weird and wonderful decisions. Laurie.
Ken, do you want to talk about Queensland?
Let's go Queensland T. Let's go Queensland. I got my Queensland team picked as well.
You know, I hate how it kind of starts straight after Magic Round. And I think we're seeing more of the impact on both sides anyway lately. With all the injuries and suspensions and everything else. Like, everyone in the next 2 weeks has to play perfectly and dance to the ref's tune, who does not get held up for any of their mistakes or bad calls. Otherwise, they risk being suspended, So, I don't know. We can talk about predicted team. Let's hope that everyone is behaved in this list.
I'm sure they will be. I'm sure they'll be on their best behaviour, all of them. Mind you, we're talking refs, and I'll throw this up. Belinda Sharp, her last 6 video challenges, captain's challenges, she got 5 wrong. Let me suggest that she's not up to it. And if I see her playing ref in first grade again, you're probably right. There is some sort of rot going on. At best, she's a touchy. At best, she's a.
I think I thought it was interesting she was reffing her brother's game, but I guess it is what it is, right? But a lot of people outside of this podcast are very irritated with all the ref calls.
Oh yeah, I am too.
Well, I got a front row seat to Casey Badger the other night, and she's blind as a bat. The number of forward passes I saw from both teams.
Was she in the box?
No, she was on the sideline. One of the fans with flags.
Oh.
Well, if you
these forward passes, they were right in front of her. Both teams, especially from dummy half.
But if they have a packed stadium or stadiums for State of Origin, and you have a bunch of very avid NRL supporters that, most people that enjoy, like, that aren't diehards like us, still are aware of Origin, still will go to Origin if they don't make all the other games or their team's game. And if you have a packed stadium of those supporters and you have bad ref calls during Origin, people will throw hands. All these bad ref calls at the moment, obviously, people are popping off about, but they really need to get the best refs during Origin, because there will be people arguing and getting very upset in the stadium.
We haven't got good refs. We can't talk about it, obviously, because Verlander says we can't talk about it, but we haven't got any good refs, honestly.
Don't you bad ones then? Bad ones.
I've got to the stage where when I see Nick's still complaining about forward passes, I've got to a stage that I'm numb now. I know it's going to happen, and like when you get told or when you get shown something and gets let go, you get to the stage where, oh, bugger it now.
I'm getting to the stage where I'm just getting worn down.
Well, yeah,
I've got
to the stage where I'm so
I don't even want to watch it
worn
anymore.
down. Well, that's a separate conversation. Yeah, I understand it, but I'm on the other side that I'm so worn down that I just accept it, which is pretty sad.
Yeah,
it's not the forward passes that gets me. I mean, that's not good. But I suggest to you that's.
But it's the heat, like the high tackles, and then the player doesn't get sent off for a HIA, and not to reignite Nick, but Herbie's fake crusher as well, which
he was dead for 2 minutes.
Disgraceful.
He didn't move.
Yeah, disgraceful.
He got the penalty to give him an 8-point lead, and then he got up and jogged back into position. And the game lets this shit go. And I'm sitting there thinking, why am I here watching this? Seriously, why am I here?
It has to be so obvious for it to be called, or people really need to fire up about it. But then you have people that just whinge like Tedesco, then they get, penalty.
But
Like
the
there's
worst,
so
the worst
many.
part was it wasn't a high shot; it was a crusher. You don't get knocked out from a crusher.
Yeah, but send them off for a HIA if
He
they're
was
gonna.
feigning the wrong injury,
Yeah,
and he was dead. He didn't move.
But she's right. If you get if anyone lies down, they get sent off for a HIA.
HIA.
Yeah, but it's not happening.
I know. No one
Yeah.
will lie down.
I know that it's not
but I
happening.
think
That's why
I think off the back of the last few weeks, they will have riots in the stadium. Because I can look at a game impassively, like I know we'll talk about Broncos, and I know whether it's my team or not, has played well or not. I'm big enough to go whether my team played well,
Yeah,
right?
of course, we all are.
And I can, I love the Dolphins, but I was talking to Nick about the Herbie thing, and I think that was a load of crap. That's not how you should play, even like the Penrith ball tampering thing. And I'm just saying during Origin, they really need to really sort their shit out in terms of checking everything. Otherwise, fans will lose their minds, not in a good way.
I sincerely hope that in Origin they don't pull these tricks.
We know it's the same shit every year. Come on.
Hope they don't.
Origin and the semis are refereed differently. We all know that.
Oh, look, referee differently, but it doesn't mean that people are not going to lie down. So I hope the players, work it out, and it's to their detriment because they need a role. Slowing the game down is not going to help. Not going to help their teams. But yeah. Sorry, Nick.
Sorry, I went
we went off track.
Sorry,
Queensland
no, I
team.
went off track. I got excited. So, Ponga, obviously, but obviously Walshy is not going to be in. But I didn't think that based on his recent attempts at playing NRL, we're going to let him be in anyway. No. I'm kind of in between. So just got it on here whether we have Hammer as another contender as well. If they don't,
as a fullback,
I've got Ponga.
Yeah. I think it will be Ponga, but obviously if Ponga's chosen, they'll move hopefully Hammer to the centre.
I've got him in the centres.
Yeah. So I think Ponga for fullback. Yeah. Sorry, I was going to go through all of them, but what do you guys think for fullback?
No, yeah, he's the one. He's the obvious one. Nicola picked him as well, so yeah, he's the obvious one. If Reece was around, he would have been in the conversation. But I think Ponga with in a maroon jersey will bring the best out of him.
Gosh, next year though, Jai Gray, that would be so
Jai
good.
Gray. Yeah, look, maybe
even this year, but
maybe not Jai, but we'll see.
Wingers, Campiera, as we all know, he actually is good for Queensland based on the technicality.
Yeah, no.
Xavier Coates will get a spot.
Coates, yeah, definitely Coates. You got Coates as well?
I've got Xavier Coates and Murray Talagi.
Yeah, I was going to say Talagi, but if not Campiera.
Yeah, and Pereira, either one, you're not going wrong with either of those three RT. Either one. And Pereira's an excitement machine, a speed machine, so why not?
Yeah. Campiera hasn't done much this year though. Like he was, I loved him last year. I think he's just obviously warming up and stuff, and he came back a little bit later. But I think, they'll choose Murray, but obviously if he's not chosen.
Murray, well, Coates is a machine. He scores tries. He's a big, strong winger, and he scores tries like it's out of fashion. Talangi, he's a big human being, and you need, like I said, that 40% of the time you're carrying it, you're in dirty ball, you're carrying it out of your red zone. So you need someone like Talangi for carry. So they'll probably pick him. But either or.
And centers, well, obviously Hammer, if anything insane changes, but if he, for whatever reason, goes to fullback for whatever reason, the other options obviously are Holmes and Cobbo.
I've got Hammer and Valentine Holmes Wrecker.
Yeah. I don't know. I quite like Cobbo.
I'm thinking, as I'm looking at it, I'm thinking Cobbo should probably be there.
Cobbo will be on the bench. He'll be in the mix. And you know what? He might even be.
I think I'll lean on Holmes for experience. But Cobbo would be a close second, I think. But I'll
Are
stick with Holmes
you
now.
are you choosing based on which team you want to win? No, I'm kidding.
Really?
No.
I'm choosing based on who I think will make the best Queensland team.
Yeah.
To beat
So-
New South
Because when we
Wales.
beat them, I don't want any
So,
excuses.
Cobbo tends to fall in and out of concentration.
Mm.
And when he
Better
plays
this year than
Origin-
last year.
what do you-
Oh,
but-
he's a bit of a
Shame.
he's a bit of a slob. He's carrying a bit of weight on him, but
I think that's just like
Or is that the
Latrell,
Latrell
just
Mitchell
that
thing?
type of look they are.
hey, look, his gut hangs over his shorts.
He's probably the
you know.
fittest guy in the team.
Well,
Yeah,
everyone was
he
telling me Latrell Mitchell's really fit, and I was
He
like,
looks
what?
fit. He looks fit this year.
He's fitter than he
Yeah.
has been, but he's always got that weird body shape, doesn't he?
He's lugging around there. He lugs around.
Cobbo's is a workhorse. And I think, look, I love Hammer when I see him in the maroon jersey, and obviously Holmes. I think if it's Holmes, it's his last year. But Hammer, that both him and Cobbo have just stuffed up a bit, and Holmes has been all right. I love Holmes. He's
He's
great.
playing well at St George.
Yeah.
The halves are the halves. They don't change.
Yeah, so I'd love it if Dearden started, but maybe bench. Munster
I've got Munster, DCE.
and DCE,
I've
yeah.
got Dearden on the bench, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel I'm very conflicted about DCE.
Well, DCE's form hasn't been great.
No,
I still
no.
think he's the best. I mean, I wouldn't choose Ben Hunt, so I still think he's the best option.
He's injured anyway, Ben.
He'll be the oldest DCE
Yeah.
for
Oh, look, you put you drape a maroon jersey on DC and he'll be back to his best. Don't worry about that. And with Monster, and look at the people he's got around him. Don't worry about
I
that.
love Munster. He's great. But yeah, Dearden, I really hope on the bench. Forwards, Nick's man crush, Tino.
Oh,
Of course,
he was so good on Saturday.
but I got him at lock.
He was so good.
Not, I got him.
Got him
lock.
at prop.
I got him at
um,
lock.
Cotter with his sexy haircut.
Who?
Prop. Ruben Cotter.
Yeah, I love Ruben. He's the best.
No,
Ooh,
no,
no,
I don't.
In
I do not
prop?
have.
not Cotter.
I've got him on the bench.
Okay.
Yeah,
Who have you got?
I've got Pat Carrigan,
Mhm.
and I've got
Pat-
drumroll Corey.
Carrigan
Horsburgh.
as lock.
Yeah, the horse will be in the squad somewhere. I think he'll be in the run-on team, but the horse is killing it. He's a bit of aggro. T. What we like.
Yeah. I had
bit of a C. We love C's.
I had Tino and Cotter as prop.
Mhm.
Grant as hooker.
Yes.
Yeah,
Nanai
Grant's the hooker.
second row, and Carrigan as lock. I don't know if I want Jaden Sewer after that abysmal game 2
I
weeks
don't
ago.
have him. I don't have him.
Mm.
I'm
I don't
going
have
to
him. I got
Then I
Bo
had on the
Fermor.
bench. Collins,
I got
Mweke.
Bo
Good
Fermor and
take.
Tom Gilbert in the back row.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
Ben Hunt, 18-man.
No,
Yeah,
I've
but
got sorry, my bench is Dearden, Bodawaker, Nanai, and Cotter.
AT.
Yeah.
I had this strange thought driving home. Why don't we put Monster at fullback so we can have Dearden on the run-on team?
When was the last time he played fullback?
When he went to
yeah.
Melbourne, he was a fullback.
Yeah, how many years ago was that?
Oh, look, it's a couple of
you're
decades ago.
gonna risk that.
Long
you know?
going.
We're still
Origin
good.
1.
He's still good.
Come
He's still
on.
good. Oh, well,
It's
we've got
still
Dearden
going.
in. We've got
Um,
Dearden in the team.
Billy Slater can't afford to lose another one.
But I'm just saying, Dearden's
Well, we
good.
haven't lost 9, so it's okay. 8.
I think,
Sorry.
yeah.
Oh,
I
easy.
think,
Focus on forward, Tanya. You can't drive forward looking in the rearview mirror.
I think.
Can they learn
Dearden's-
from the past?
I think Dearden should be on the run-on team. Can we take in the extended squad the kid from the Cowboys, the centre, Purdue? In the extended squad. You know what? We made a couple of weeks ago. We made a big thing about young Galvin, and we've made an assumption over some glimpses that we've seen. He hasn't put a body of work, but Purdue is starting to put a body of work together, and he's just as good, if not better, than Lockie. So I would have him on the extended squad, not in the team, just so he can get a taste. I know he's only 19, but geez, good.
It's not apples for apples. Galvin played in the wooden spoon team last year.
Yeah, I get you. I understand.
Next favorite
but,
team to talk about.
but
I know that it can be hit and miss having debutantes on, but sometimes they go all right. But it's just not that I play, but it would be such an intense experience,
see,
Origin
I
night.
wouldn't pick him in the team, T. All I'm saying is
Yeah,
get him
just that makes
amongst
sense.
amongst all the boys there, so he can. He's going to be in the eventually. Beat 1 year, beat 5 years. He'll be in that team.
What about Corey Horsburgh or Fafita? Just as a extended, just in case.
I've got him as a
Horse
starting
in the
prop.
team, yeah.
Yeah.
The horse
Yeah.
is in the team.
I've got him as a
Oh,
starting
you call
prop.
him the horse. I call
Yeah.
him something else.
Well, I don't want to call him those other words because I just don't want to do that anymore.
Crybaby.
I
Cry
just,
baby and all the other things I call him. I don't want to call him.
I
those things
can, I
anymore.
just, I
I'm
can
trying to be
see. I know what.
respectful. I'm trying to be
know-
respectful these days.
I know what the next 2 weeks are going to look like. Someone, magically 3 people that are supposed to be in the Queensland Origin team are just going to get suspended for high tackles. It'll be Tino against Jai Gray, even though Tino's twice the size of him or something, and then it'll just throw our whole team out. I just want it on record.
Bias just comes out of your pores,
Wow,
doesn't it?
T.
At this time of year.
T.
Seriously.
Just see what happens. You'll be upset if it happens to you guys.
Well,
No,
New
we're
South
good.
Wales,
We're good.
Preston's already suspended for 4
Yeah,
weeks.
we're good. Yeah, we're good.
Yes,
We're good.
well, yeah. I'm
I-
excited, but I'm
wanna
not
see-
excited for the following
wanna-
conversation.
I want to see that same passion, T, for the women's game as well on Thursday.
Yeah.
You'll be
that was-
watching, won't you? Surely you'll be watching it.
Yeah, I will be watching it. I know we were talking about it before the potty started. I just haven't looked at all all the players and all the news. I did look at the obviously the controversies and stuff. But if that was my fantasy state of origin team, that's what it would be. Ideally, I would love it if Jai Gray was in there, but next year.
Hey,
I won't be watching the women's game on Thursday night. I'll
I'm
be
sure
out,
you-
out for dinner with a few mates. And I
Okay.
want to send a shout out to my mate Quinny, Big Paul Quinn, who's listening. He sent us a message that I forwarded to you guys.
All right.
Yes.
So we're catching up on Thursday night. Good to
Good
see
man.
him.
Good man.
And I'm not going to watch the game on Thursday night because if I do, I'll end up being as crazy as a dog in a hubcap factory.
Or you could watch it and then Quinny could video your reaction if Queensland win.
I don't watch the NRLW. I have no interest in the NRLW. I don't watch.
You'd be
Super
the only
League.
guy that doesn't.
I don't. No. Most people I know don't watch it. To be honest.
I just, what I think about, and this is purely like uncharacteristically as well, but I would do my hair up in braids. I know I'm being a real girl. Just bear with me for a second. It only happens a few times a year on this potty. But the hair and the nails that would be on the pitch at the end of the night, oh my God. It just, when I see them pulling their hair, it just freaks me out.
I would
Ooh.
mandate if I was Landis that they all have to wear long tights.
Long tights?
Yeah, not shorts.
Why?
Why?
Because you see all these beautiful legs getting grazed up and that. It's just not wrong, man. It's not right.
Oh, so
I
well,
want to
that's
protect
nice.
them. Yeah,
Well,
I
hey.
want to protect them,
I just feel like they need to just braid their hair to avoid that hair pulling that happened to the captain, the Queensland captain.
It happens more than we think it happens.
Oh, brutal.
They did it.
Okay.
They did it to last week. They did it to Isabel Kelly. She's running, and all of a sudden, her head, like she falls over for head first, sort of thing, because they pulled her hair. That I don't know. Man, that must hurt so much.
Is that technically a crusher?
I don't know what it is. They got a penalty, but I don't know what that is. It didn't look.
That
good.
is a reason to really slap someone across the face because that really hurts when your hair gets pulled. I'm surprised there aren't
It
more
must
fights like
hurt.
that.
It must hurt so much too.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, sorry, I got you off track again. Sorry, I apologise.
No, that's the dream. I
Good
think I
team,
went through
good team, and we'll see how close you are next
Yeah.
Tuesday too. I'm pretty sure you'll be pretty close.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Let's move into round 10, the round that was.
That's we moved through.
Oh,
So
get
the
the first
opening
one in.
game, I was there. The Eels went down to the Dolphins, 20 points to 16. Horrible game. Horrible. I was.
Was it?
It was horrible. If you're a Para fan, it was horrible. The performance was it was so boring. It was just one out, no offloads, no wide spreading, just one out, one out, one out. Moses had to kick from his own 30 and 40 all the time. The Dolphins got the ball. They spread it nicely. They made good yardage. Para only started to play with 5 minutes to go.
Yeah. I think it was the one that got away actually. I thought when they were 8. Well, they were up at some stage. Middle
The
of the first
12-6.
half.
Yeah,
12-6,
12-6, yeah.
Middle of the second half.
Second half.
Second half, they were up, and and you think that they would have rode that home. But you know what? It was an arm wrestle with some brilliant moments sort of scattered all around it. And Dolphins just had one or two classier players.
I think the Dolphins were horrible.
Yeah,
I think Para were a lot worse. The tries that the Dolphins scored were so soft. The defense was terrible.
Yeah,
They were there to be beaten that night.
yeah, absolutely.
Against any other team, the Dolphins would have lost.
Herbie's try was good.
Oh, so you know what was funny? Well, yeah, I mean, again, soft defense. He broke through 2 tackles and he ran 30 meters and scored. But it was a good try. But the next day, the headline in the newspaper was Herbie Magic. And I said, yeah, it was magic. He pretended to be dead for 2 minutes.
Was it that incident?
Got the penalty, got the 2 points, which gave him an 8-point lead. And then he got up and jogged back into position.
Yeah.
And this is the bullshit that we're
was
going to put up with.
I don't think it was any worse than the red carpet rollout Latrell Mitchell got for his shit last try.
Oh, look, you know what? Tackle him. Simple.
Yeah.
Finish it. Just tackle him. Drop an elbow on him. You know?
Pull his hair.
Yeah, no,
Pull his hair. Yeah, anything. Anything. You know what?
If I was down, it's a good thing I was up in the stands because I just wanted to run out there and kick him in the face.
Herbie. Yeah.
Who was watching the game with you, Nick? Because based on our text,
I would have put his nose on the side of his face. He would have looked like a Picasso painting. I was that angry.
Yes, I know. I could feel it emanating.
Yes,
from Queensland.
I was very upset on Thursday night.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yes. Well, then I'll just say one thing about this game.
Just skim over it, George.
One thing about this game. You know what? Sometimes
I actually apologise to Tanya on Friday morning for some of the language that I use.
No, it's okay. It's Nickel. It's okay. It's Nickel. Sometimes we watch a player and we watch him when he's 23 or 24 and he's developed and he's become very, very, very good halfback. We spoke about him, this player before at the Origin, young Katoa. He's only 20 years old. And
yeah, very good, very talented.
Yeah. He's brilliant.
Yeah, isn't how good is he? Yeah.
And I like. Sorry, yeah.
No, please.
No, I was just saying, I liked the way. I said to you before, the Dolphins made good yardage because they were spreading it early, and that was on the back of him a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, and they made really good meters from their sets. You know, as opposed to the Eels, who were just one out. Junior Paulo, he's a renowned offloader.
Yeah.
Nothing. Just one out. It was horrible to watch.
Okay,
but Katoa was sparking a lot of that.
And that's what I'd say. And I want to say about his play. We should look and watch Katoa week in and week out and watch his development because it's something beautiful to watch. Because he's one of these rare kids that can control a game, not being on the ball. So he could be. It's like Cameron Smith. He controlled the game from hooker.
He controlled the referee. That's why.
But again, he controlled the game still, and I still don't know how you can control the game from dummy half. It's got me buggered. But he did it, and this young kid, he's only 20 years old, and he's just at the start of his career. And what I've seen him do as well, in not a very good team, as you pointed out too. And he's putting a body of work together.
Sorry, just to clarify,
watch him.
Just to clarify, what I meant when I said that was I don't think they were very good on Thursday night.
Who's that?
The Dolphins.
I don't think they're good.
I was referring to that particular game.
Yeah.
Tanya, one thing I'm curious to get your opinion about is I think it's a good thing that DCE is not going to the Dolphins because I think Katoa would have been pushed back if that happened. And I think he's done enough to just come through. I don't think he needs any leadership at this point. I think he just needs game time. What do you guys think?
It would be great if DC went to the Dolphins. I just don't want him to go to the Roosters. I don't mind if he goes anywhere else and go to the anywhere. There's no space, obviously.
To me, it's just another bad decision in a long line of bad recruitment decisions. From the Roosters.
Yeah,
I'll pay $1 million for an ACL.
It was funny because I was talking to Meg because she tipped the Dolphins because we're, Dolphins are like our second Broncos, right? And we, as you know, I'm championing them because they're doing really well under Wolf. I love, Sarko and Hammer and they're so they're probably more, I think, supported, not more supported, but we see so many of the guys have come from Broncos. And Meg was like, I tipped the Dolphins. And I was like, oh. And she goes, actually, no. Is Nick at the Eels game? And she's like, oh my God, I hope the Eels win. And I was like, but they what was it when I think you said it to me, George, to make me feel better about the Broncos losing. Or Meg said it. It wasn't that it was, I think it was the Roosters Broncos game or something, and it wasn't that the Roosters shouldn't have won, but the Broncos lost, essentially. It was some kind of terminology. It's in this, like, I think,
It was
like,
like the 1994 World Cup final. Brazil didn't win the match. Italy lost the shootout.
yes, yeah, that's what it is. So, you know, Asako always just perfect. Like, he did his 3 out of 3 conversions. I know he's had a few on and off. But you know, Bostock's too hot and cold. Katoa is amazing, but Bostock, 1 minute he's dropping them all. Next minute he's fine. And then, he's scoring a try. Like, it's all too inconsistent. I wouldn't say that was their best game. And I feel like the Eels could have given more there. Like, I was talking to you about it, Nick. Like, what was
They
happening?
bombed a couple of tries too.
Yeah.
Ridiculous bombing tries.
Look, in terms of the Eels, we know it's a development year. So they're going to be hot, they're going to be cold, they're going to win, they're going to lose. As long as we see development in some of the kids, that's all we're looking for. And if we can get some consistency,
I don't turn up to lose, George.
I know, but you know where it's at. You know where
But
it's at.
if
you
Russell,
saw what we went through as well. The dogs went through.
Russell is a toxic cancer to that first
Well,
grade team.
if Russell
and now
had-
Bailey Simonson's out for 10 weeks.
I know.
Right? Russell keeps finding a way to stay in that team.
Simonson's so good.
well, if
That's
Russell
the third
had
broken foot in that team this year. What's going on?
I don't know.
if Russell had converted, so Manny, I think I texted you, George, but Manny predicted that the Dragons and Warriors and the Eels and Dolphins would be a golden point game. I literally text Nick about it before the games, But if Russell had actually converted, even Manny was like, I could have converted that last one. But if he did, it would have been golden point.
I don't understand why
Better.
Moses isn't kicking. If you can kick in general play, you can take conversions.
No, he said it on I think
What?
on somewhere that his coach is being overprotective of him and told him not to kick.
Well, then he's an idiot.
What?
Because he took a sideline conversion against the Tigers and he nailed it.
I don't know. That's what he said. It
Right?
came out of his mouth. I
So,
don't know.
well, then
But
Riles is an idiot.
he knows he's there to play to win, hey.
Yeah, no, but Sean Russell's a terrible kicker. We've seen it for weeks.
But Nickel, I think
He's worse than Gutho.
But I think the kicker's going to be Lomax.
Yeah, he wasn't there
Yeah, he
last
wasn't
week,
there.
George.
He wasn't there.
Moses was there. Take the damn kicks. The game's on the line,
I hear.
We should write a letter. Because we're both unhappy this week. You didn't
Seriously,
lose for the Rabbitohs.
Sean Russell, man, he's not first grade material.
Yeah, but look, it was because we don't do the 3-2-1, hey, without Artie.
Not today.
Not without Artie.
Not
We
today.
can't do it without Artie.
Yeah.
We need
I know.
Artie.
That's his thing.
Yeah,
That's his
I
thing.
just want to skip this whole round next week anyway to go back. But yeah, I'm sorry, Nick, about that.
No,
I feel like it was quite messy
It
overall.
was messy.
Let's move on.
It was
Let's move on. Gold Coast got a win, 24 points to 20 over the Knights. It was a long
Is
time
a surprise.
No.
coming. It was due. It was overdue.
Mm.
Who wants to talk about this one?
Oh, gee. Messy is not the word, I think. What happened?
You guys convinced me last week that I should tip the Knights, even though I know I should, be a
Really?
bit on tip my own teams. Because you said they're playing at home. Titans haven't been that great. I don't know. I feel like this round was weirder than Magic round. I don't know what happened.
It is weird, and you know what?
Campbell was great.
Knights came out, and Gold Coast were terrible. Beside Tino, the Gold Coast were absolutely terrible. The Knights left side was doing okay. The right side with Pierce, Paul, and Marju, they were just clunky as. But they kept on giving penalties away, kept on missing tackles, and before you knew it, the Knights had scored 20 points. Going in, I'm thinking this could be anything. This could be anything. In the second half, the Knights are terrible. Oh my God, the
Wasn't
Knights were
that
terrible. It flipped. You know what, Tina?
but wasn't that a
Tina just kept
consistent
on.
theme
Sorry.
all week, all round? That was the most consistent
Yes.
theme all round.
Yes. But
Yeah.
you know what? It looked to me like the Knights were trying to hold on to the lead instead of attack, and they just kept on missing tackles. They kept on dropping the ball. They were terrible. And Tino, my godfather, Tino Brimson is not a 5'8", but you know what? He did center sort of things. He would run and run and run. Jaden Campbell is not a halfback, but he ran and ran and ran.
Yeah.
And they couldn't stop him. They couldn't stop him. But you take Tino out of the Titans, and I'm telling you now, the Titans wouldn't have won. He had such a good game. Your man crush had such a good game. And you know what? From these two teams, I sort of don't get, and I get Titans. I don't get it. But the Knights, they're terrible. I don't know what it is. Are they having troubles behind closed doors? Aren't they just they haven't clicked yet? But, you know what? Maybe they got booed off the stadium. I don't know if you heard it, T. Their people booed them off the stadium, and so they should have. They were terrible. And this game, in general, was exciting, but really, it was a terrible
Is
game.
the Knights where that Jackson old mate who
reserve grade.
yeah
Hastings, yeah.
yeah because his wife was talking about a senior player's wife. Maybe they are having issues behind closed doors.
The guys cause trouble at every club he's been at.
Every club he's been to, and you know what? They can't sack the coach because he's got such a long contract. It'll be too much money to pay him out. So even if he's lost the dressing room, which I don't think he has actually, but even if he has lost the dressing room, there's nothing they can do about it.
Yeah.
Did you see Dez's look of belief and then also collective sigh of relief?
Yeah. I saw
He's
that.
like he looked like he was dying the whole time. Like he was so close to just. I think that's the win. That Des got to have a win. I think that was the win in this game.
And you know, for Des, because I'm going to put my hand up, and I'm a fan. I hope he keeps
Yeah.
on winning. I hope he keeps on winning. I hope it's the start of something.
Well, it's a good confidence thing for him, for them to, go away and win in a team in a game where they weren't tipped to win, and people weren't having lots of confidence as well. You could just see it in his face. So
some of these players, Sammy, Fafita,
Mm.
Pereira, you mentioned before, they're all very good players. I don't understand why they're giving these performances. But you know what? This might be the one that cracks the ice. Maybe. But
yeah, well, I think it's yeah.
But when it
think
comes to the Knights, don't tip them. Just don't tip them.
You can tip them this week.
You can tip them this week. Why?
They're playing Para.
No. The specials. Parramatta specials. Probably at Parramatta Stadium too.
I'm not sure. No, I think it's in Newcastle.
Yeah, let's move on. That was.
You guys can talk about this game.
Rabbitohs, 22 points to 14 over the Broncos. What happened?
Give it to us, T.
What was George saying about the Titans? I don't understand why we have so much talent on this team and you don't know what they're doing. Also applies for Broncos. I have no idea. We were doing so well. What happens with the Broncos, and it happens either at the beginning of the season where they're having a win, or in the first half when we're having a win. There's something that happens where arrogance overtakes confidence and they just drop the ball, literally. And once they get to a point, they just can't come back from it because they had that win. They had it. Like I don't know how they just fell to shit, basically.
You know what intrigues me, T? A couple of weeks ago against Canterbury, and I mentioned there was 40 minutes of perfection. It's not brain surgery.
What happened the following week, though, George?
Well, before we go into that, they showed us it was a blueprint of how to play, how they should play. You know what I mean? The two forwards, the two front rows shooting behind the ruck, and then the back rows being turned back inside onto 9s and 7s. So they just ripped Canterbury apart that way. Then they could spread. Now there's the blueprint. That's it. That's what they should do every week. But for some unknown reason, I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? They
Mm.
try to do it. They try to do it at the start, but they drift away from it. So I think it's just a matter of time, repetitions. Because if you do something once, the chances are you can do it again and again and again and again. But you just got to keep on training and
But then
training.
like last week, the only outlier was Jordan Ricky, really, like who should be great to come back.
Ricky's
Um,
great. He's one of my favourites, actually.
exactly. So he was the only outlier, and same in this game. So when they beat the Doggies, he wasn't playing, he was injured. So I can't think of anything else that they've done. I really don't understand how that happened. That win was signed, sealed, delivered. I was in shock. And Rabbitohs are terrible. Sorry. And
Rabbitohs,
yeah,
considering the talent they've got on the sideline, this is a huge win.
Yeah, it is. It's a huge
Mm.
because Nico said there is about 6 or 7 injured. So this is not a reserve grade team. Obviously, there's people we know in there, but they've got 6 injured, and eventually they're all going to come back.
gosh, we were lucky Jai Gray wasn't there for the full 80, by the way.
Joey Gray came off the bench, didn't he?
Yeah, but
Oh,
like he wasn't there for the full, didn't start. So the score probably could have been higher if he was there the whole time.
Oh, is that what you're suggesting? Okay, yeah, no,
Yeah.
he played
No, no,
well.
no. I just thought, and then Reynolds, like so many of our guys were just looked absolutely trashed by the end of the game. Reynolds was hurting. Hunt went off with his hamstring. Mariner, was it Mariner or someone else that was just was it Piakura? Someone else was injured or they looked injured. Like we just got absolutely smashed in in 40 minutes.
Well, your two front rowers were just ploughing a hole through the middle. So,
Yeah.
just on the back of that, if any team has 2 front rowers to do what these 2 guys do, I mean, you're just following them through, and you're not. They don't lose by big points ever, but they shouldn't have lost. They shouldn't have lost
Oh,
against
but from
Saracens.
yeah, like you can't look at that point, like the points of that game and go, it was fair or like, it was an even game. We were winning at halftime very easily, I think. But yeah, that was
It looked like
just
it looked like it was going to be a walk in the park, but maybe you're right. Maybe they thought they were going to come out in the second half and just have a walk in the park. You know what I mean?
yeah, they need to celebrate the win at the 80th minute. That's what
They
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 need to do.
they
And
found
until before that, they work their ass off. That's what they do.
they found it hard containing Colin Matangi, and he's moved into the middle now, and they just had all sorts of problems with him. And you know what?
We don't have small guys though,
No, yeah, your team's
comparatively,
stacked. No, your roster is the best roster in the comp, I reckon. And you can say, and I'll say it, some big moments. Mitchell took over some big moments.
Well, I mean, to kick that 2-point field goal in the wet, that was a big.
Yes, that
40
was
meters.
incredible for someone that does illegal things after a children's charity thing. Really incredible, but we should remember his
Let's stick
past
to
too.
the game, 10. Let's stick to the game. Right?
But my mate was watching it with me, Shane. I think you've met him, Nick, and he's an AFL supporter. Used to be Dragons, but switched to AFL, and he was like, some guys in the AFL can't make that kick. He was like, that in the rain, that is amazing. Well done.
It was.
And he made a tackle as well, which got someone over the sideline. I can't remember which one was a Mariner. I think he pushed Mariner over, which would have sealed the game.
That's my only criticism of Latrell Mitchell. Happens once every 2 months. It needs to be more consistent.
Yeah, when he decides, and look, like Laurie said on SCN, Mitchell can do things that other players can't do it. But as you said to me just then, but he doesn't do it enough.
Yeah.
So every second week I'll be happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Third week, but 3 times a year is not enough.
Yeah.
Tell us what happened on Saturday. Bulldogs 32, Raiders 20.
Yeah.
This is all one-way traffic at halftime.
One-way traffic halftime, Nicola. They came out. Styles make fights. Well, in theory, Canberra is our kryptonite. Canberra played exactly like Broncos played that night, where and it was on purpose. They played exactly the way that Broncos played that night when they beat us up. And it got out of hand. It got so out of hand. It was 20-0 before we knew it. They went straight through our middle, and they turned the back rows back inside, hitting our nines and sevens, and we're just missing tackles galore. We only had 30% of the ball at the end of the first half. We basically had no ball. All the time we had the ball, we're carrying it out of our red zone. Okay, they just kept on coming and coming and coming. I'm thinking, here we go, 60-0. It's going to be 60-0. I was happy when the halftime bell went. I was happy. I was wrapped. Then something strange happened. Canberra came out exactly the same way. Their first touch ripped us up through the middle, and they got a try denied. Thank God. Because that would have been game, set, match, bingo, 36-0. All of a sudden, they put Bailey Hayward on. And Bailey, unlike Toby Sexton runs really square, which halfbacks should run really square. But Bailey runs outlines. He started running outline, and he gave Critter an early ball. And Critter does what Critter does. He pushes off Timoko, who goes straight through,
was huge,
scores a try. All of a sudden, they did exactly, and this is what I like about Canterbury. When they find an issue, when they find a hole, when they find a spot, they go there all the time. They don't care if they get tackled. They'll go there. They went straight away. The next set of 6, we scored another try. I'm going, wait a minute. 12-0, 12-20, mate, you never know. 3 minutes later, 2 sets after, we scored another try. Wait a minute, game on. Now, all of a sudden, all the demons came back to roost, this Canberra team. All the little issues they've got, all the little mistakes, they went inwards and they tried to protect the lead. Canterbury kept on playing. They kept on playing and they got physical. They started playing the Canterbury way. And unfortunately, the Raiders fell into our trap. And at the end of the day, we scored 32 points in one half of rugby league and won a game which we shouldn't have won. We shouldn't have won if they just stuck to their guns, Canberra, playing that same style, which they played, half the same style they played. We got nothing. And now people have seen how to beat Canterbury, but you've got to do it for 80 minutes. Yeah. Like Broncos did that night. Do we deserve to win the game? I think we do deserve to win the game.
Absolutely.
I think we did deserve to win the game.
It was a massive turnaround.
I think Stephen Crichton showed his genuine class. I'm not going to call him the best centre in the game, but not far off.
Oh, who's better than him?
I was going to say who's going to be better than him. Carraz, a dreadful first half, and he got they did some good video on him, and they knew exactly what they were doing. He ran 100 and something meters in one half because he had about 30 meters in the first half. So he ran well over 100 meters in the second half, and he had 5 pops as well, 5 offloads. And our little pissy little forward pack, Biliami Kickow on the other side of Crichton. Tell you what, people must see him running, and just they must run and hide. He was uncontrollable. I like it because I see, you know what, after the Broncos game, you know what they decided? They decided this. Yep, the Broncos were on top and they had their way with us. But if we saved one try, just that one try, we would have been maybe a little bit closer for the second half, you know what I mean? And this is what happened, I think, this time. They just saved that one try and kept it sort of in check, and mentally they could come back. But what a crazy game. Yeah. It was an absolutely crazy game.
I feel like it was just...
T was texting me, and I'm going, no, T, I'm at work.
I didn't tell him. I'm very good with you guys now. I ask if you're watching the game.
T,
Also, what kind of fans are you if you're not watching the game? No. But I just feel like we just saw the same narrative. These first 4 games we spoke about, the first half was very different to the second half.
Absolutely, T. Absolutely.
Oh,
That's what I
Ricky.
said. What a crazy round.
Did you watch the press conference, Nick? Because I think that's your favorite thing to do.
Yeah, I did. It was brilliant.
What did Ricky say?
Well, when Jamin Salmon scored a try, he went up to the camera and he said, "We got a dog."
Yes.
So Ricky Stewart was asked about it in the press conference, and he goes, "Why do you think I would care about that?" I don't know. Maybe because you're the one who brought it up.
Yeah, you started it.
I love yeah. Anyway, let's move on.
Let's go.
Warriors 15 points to 14 over the Dragons. That was a tight one.
You watch this. See?
I actually didn't see this one.
See?
Yeah. Oh, I watched all of them.
What do you got for me?
Yeah, like every single game, every
You're the
weekend I
best.
watch.
You're the best. What do you got for me?
I thought this was wild because we all thought that Warriors were going to beat the Dragons well.
Hmm.
I think yeah, I don't know. I was very surprised that Gutho got the first try for the Dragons. I just, you know what I felt all round? The try scorers were not the same as the normal try scorers. It was
It was a
really
weird round, wasn't it?
Yeah.
it was super weird.
Hmm.
I Metcalf great as always. I kind of like, and Capewell, like love Capewell because obviously it was Broncos, but I can't remember who I tipped with you guys last week, but part of me was kind of gunning for the Dragons to win. But it was just, I don't know, it was just it was great defense, I think, from both sides. Like that's not a big scoreboard as
No.
well. Did you catch it, Nick?
No, I didn't see this one. No.
Yeah, George, did you catch it?
Yeah. You know what? Strange game. 3 tries to 2. St. George scored 3 tries. They just couldn't kick a side of a barn. You know what? I bet you any money if Holmes had a maroon jersey, he'll nail every one of those kicks. I bet
Yeah.
you any money.
Yeah.
They weren't that hard, but anyway, in 80 minutes, I will say that the Warriors were the better team. But it was one of those boring games, Nicola. It was not quite a bludger,
Yeah.
but not too far away from a
Sounds like a bludger.
But I've got to admit one thing. St. George's are a developing team. I just want to see them flooding all these youngsters into this team, because these youngsters are the future. Your Couchmans, your Kings. I mean, all these youngsters coming through. That's where you're at. Your Stewarts, your Egans. This is where it's at. I want to give flowers to Luke Metcalf. After we saw him play at Vegas, I thought, oh my, they're going to have a tough, long year. I tell you what, Luke Metcalf's been outstanding. He really has. And I found out he's a New South Welshman, actually. He's been really good. And his kicking game, his running game, his pass selection, he's been really good for this team. Barnett, and this is the performance he gave, and this is why he has to be in the Origin team. He's just an absolute C, Nick. He's an absolute C. He doesn't care.
What's the C?
What's a C?
I don't know. Tell me.
I'm not going to say in front
Don't.
See
I'm not
you next
going to say
Tuesday.
in front of a woman here. But
See
you
you
all
next
know.
Tuesday.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So yeah. Look, they're the better team. That's all I'm going to say about that. Dallin came back and just ran his little heart off. Yeah, Rick James came off and ran his heart out. Just I love seeing him run. Adam Pompey, the forgotten man. He just keeps on improving. And let me find him. Nikora. You know what? He's been around for a while, but gee, you know what? In his system, and the coach, I forget his name, Mr. Popular Webster. He's made the game plan really simple, Nicola. He's really dulled it down. No double leads, nothing like this. We're going to run the ball hard, and we're going to kick, and we're going to chase. Simple things, and it's working for him. And you know what? I think they're top 4. I think the Warriors are top 4. I think they are. And
I think, I think the reason why I probably enjoyed watching this game is because I was very stressed the previous 3 games. Raiders is also, I have a soft spot for the Raiders. But yeah, I don't know about Warriors. Like, they're 3rd at the moment. I don't know about them top.
They're 3rd. See, they're 3rd, yeah. And you know what? They'll make the top 8. And look, they might be out the first week, but I think they're great. I think they're doing really well. And like I always say, a strong Warriors brings New Zealand with us. That's
Yeah.
the main thing.
Mm.
I want to see New Zealand with full houses.
So what about the next game? Is it the first draw of the season?
First draw.
Cowboys,
Yes.
Panthers, 30 points all.
First
It's
draw
funny.
of the
Penrith
season.
were complaining about a decision that could have won them the game. Yet most people miss the fact that Penrith received a bullshit penalty that allowed them to equalise.
I didn't watch it.
It should never have been a penalty.
And wet the ball.
Well, they were both doing that.
I didn't watch it, so you guys.
But they got a penalty that was just absurd, and they scored from that set.
It was actually the first draw for the season. Last year we had one draw, and the draw before that was 2019.
Wow.
Yeah, it was wild. You need to watch the replay. It was the most insane game I have ever seen.
I caught the last like half an hour of it.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, because I remember I was like, I always try and test you guys out. And I'm like, are you watching? And then he's like, caught the last half hour. I'm like, okay, perfect. Yeah, you should watch the replay. It was wild. Absolutely wild.
I heard Purdue had another screamer of a game.
Yeah, he's so great.
So good for 19.
Right.
Anything else? Because I didn't watch anything.
I
Any
think-
standouts? I know that Penrith were ahead of 12 points two separate times. So for me, that they should have put the game away if they're up 12 points. But obviously, Penrith came back twice. Was Drinky outstanding again?
Yeah,
I
so
only saw
him
the
and
last half
Cleary
an hour.
both did 5 out of 5 conversions. I don't remember seeing a game.
Was it Blaze Talagi had 4 try assists?
He was outstanding.
Yeah.
What I've
Yeah.
heard. Yeah,
But I
what
don't remember
read.
seeing a game this year where both sides have converted 100%. But they did, this team.
Okay.
It was because the only reason I looked up those stats about the draw was I could not remember the last time I'd seen one go full. And interestingly, and Nick knows, but I recently connected with the recruitment manager from Cowboys, and it was funny because I was talking to him last week before the game, and he's like, "Oh, we've got Panthers this week." He's like, they seem to be a side that's actually come back now from, the bad start to the year. And then I just said to him when the game, I think it was like at the 70th minute, and I was like, "Are you breathing?" And he didn't respond till later, but he's like, yeah, he goes, we should have won it. We should have won that game 5 times. Really. So, but yeah, it was it's pretty exciting when
Yeah.
How did Nano go?
he's good. It's not as good as he was normally, but he did the first try for the Cowboys as well. Derby was good. He dropped the ball. Dearden was good, but I just feel like Dearden wasn't on like he normally was. I don't know if you thought that. Like no, I mean like mentally on. I don't feel like he was mentally on as much as he normally is. Usually he's quite clued in. I don't know.
Blaze was outstanding.
Yeah.
Blaze was good, Jay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do
you like golden points?
I like it when it's not my team.
Yes.
I love watching penalty shootouts in soccer when it's not my team.
So you like penalty shootouts
when it's not my team.
Yeah.
And you like the
when it's not my team.
But I still.
But I think they should change it. I think they should strip 2 players off each team, make it 11 on 11, and next try wins.
Next try. I like the try thing. I like the try thing.
I feel just as stressed though.
Do you?
Sure. Yeah. Even though it's not my team, I'm probably not to get. I'm not going to get
like that with every game you watch. You watch every game.
Every game I get stressed. But yeah, no, I do like a golden point. But yeah, it was super interesting. I said to Nick, I was like, so do we all win a point for our tips?
I wasn't sure.
No.
You do.
Well,
because there's no tipping for a draw.
Yeah.
No. I just changed
the next game had 64 golden points.
4 golden points, yeah.
So
you know what I like about this?
What did you like?
So many people were laughing at Parramatta in round 1. When Melbourne were winning 38-0 or whatever it was at half time.
Yeah. But they brought it back a bit.
64-0.
64. You know what? I'm not going to say too much about this game. All I know is 2 things. Number 1, you get beaten. You can get beaten by a team, and that's fine.
My God!
And then, I mean, you can lose a game. It's it. Everybody loses a game, but then you can get beaten up, and they got beaten up.
Some of
Now-
those tries though were freakish.
especially early.
Yeah,
Especially
yeah,
early.
they were like
Pap.
last tackle, desperation, but
Yeah.
their desperation is phenomenal. And that Pappenhausen solo effort.
Oh, well, I think he got 32 points in one
He's
game.
single now.
Yeah, he got 4
happy.
tries.
4 tries.
He's
So
single.
Maybe did his girlfriend dump him, or was it the other way around?
No, he dumped her, apparently.
dumped
Oh
her.
well, maybe
Celebration.
he should have dumped her 6 weeks ago. Melbourne would be in first place.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Look,
This is
Uh,
brutal.
yeah. So look, now I'm looking for the Tigers. Well, I'm looking for a response. So anyone can get beaten, and anyone can get beaten by Melbourne by 50. These things happen. It's Melbourne, for God's sake. It's what you do next week. If you don't have to win, but I want to see effort. I see
Interesting.
effort.
They're playing the Rabbitohs, so
They're
it'd be
playing the
interesting.
Rabbitohs. Okay. I'd like to see effort because I think that they gave up, and there's nothing worse in a rugby league team.
Well, you
I've
got
given
5
up.
premiership winners in that team. They should be better than that.
You mean the Tigers?
Yeah.
No, I agree. I know that. Look, I know that Melbourne must have had a week from hell with Bellamy. Can you imagine
Yeah.
what Bellamy done to these poor guys? They must have had a week from hell. But I don't mind losing. I'll say it again. I lost for 8, 6, 7 years.
64-0.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. But let's lose 33. 40. It happens. But when you get over 40, that's getting.
I think that
You haven't
that
tried.
took the edge off our losses this week, Nick.
Took the edge off. I'd forgotten my loss way by that point. 64-0.
Yeah, no, look, not good enough. Not good enough.
Mm.
Not
Yeah.
good enough. Not good
Yeah.
enough.
Not much to say about that
And,
one.
and yeah, and Melbourne. Well, if they're going to keep on this rhythm, they're every premiership.
Jerome Hughes was in superb form.
And apparently he's still injured. He's still
Yeah.
carrying it. So he's a special.
And rounding off the round, the Sharks 30 points to 14 over Manly. Don't know how Manly lost this one.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
they were in front, and they just went from bad to worse.
Okay.
What did you see?
We
I was
heard
w-
this was the narrative all round. Tigers were never beating Melbourne, but anyway.
Oh, no, we meant Manly and
Manly.
No, but I'm saying this was a narrative all
Oh
round,
yeah. No.
but not
Manly,
the Tigers.
Sorry, the Tigers were never ever going to beat. It's how much they're going to lose by. This game, this is the performance I was looking for from Cronulla all year. Paula. They started like a house on fire. We hassle Nico when he doesn't play well, but he's been building up he's been building up for a game like this for a while now, and he gave us every Dalian medal point that he's ever had in this one, mate. He was well, a house on fire. They went up 14-0. Then came back. Manly came back from some opportunity tries, but this is it. When the game was in the balance, they stepped up. Cronulla stepped up and took the game away from the Seagulls. I think they've turned the corner. I hope they've turned the corner because I've been waiting for this all year. Will Kennedy, I don't want to hear any Cronulla supporter tell me that they should not sign him. They're still saying it. They should not sign him. I don't want to hear it. Do you remember Iro's father or his uncle?
Kevin Iro or Tony Iro?
I think Tony's his father.
Both played for Manly.
Both played for Manly
Yeah.
and New Zealand. You know what? This kid's going to be better. I think.
Yeah.
He's only 22. He's going to be better. He was outstanding. Ronaldo was at his cheeky best. You know what? Braden Trindle came back a bit, like came off the ball a little bit to let Nico take over. But Trindle looked even better because he picked his moments, like Mitch is going to do in the Origin. Just picked his moment. For Neil Blake, if he's not the best front row, he's not the best front row. Payne Huss is. He's so close to it. I mentioned Brayley in the Origin conversation. Do you know he's had 2 mistakes all year?
No.
He's a very solid very solid hooker. I'm not saying he's an Origin hooker, but I'm saying he's a very solid hooker. And Billy Burns, they got Billy Burns from Penrith a couple of years ago, and they stuck him in reserve grade, Nicola, and they bring him up, and mate, he produced 3 tries on the day. So, and he's going to go back to reserve grade again. So, yeah, look, I like this performance. It was a complete performance. Manly, I think they're a little bit off. I think DC is a little bit off since he's made that decision.
He's been off every week.
Look, you know what? I think he's got such a high standard. When he's a little bit off that high standard, because I don't think he's played bad. We see it. Luke Brooks has gone back to his Tigers day, and T, how did they make Ruben Garrick look? Did you watch the game?
Yeah.
I feel sorry for him.
Yeah, well, last year he was really great. I don't know what happened. And to be fair, because I'm okay now, like still a bit, but I actually first watched the first half of this game and then had a cold recovery snooze in the second half, but Manny told me what happened. But I did watch the highlights, and yeah, Garrick was so good last year. I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? He came on. He did a lot of talking, but by the end of the game, where he dropped a few balls over the line and they scored, and he missed some pretty crucial tackles. Ronaldo was absolutely bathing. It was just funny to see because first half he was all bravado and all talk, and I just love that stuff. The Sharks are brewing something, Nicola. The Sharks are brewing something.
We'll see.
There's something brewing.
And the Roosters had the bye.
Had the bye.
So let's move into crystal ball with the upcoming round.
Let's do it.
Once again, Para kick off the round. Great. Away to Newcastle.
There's nothing to worry about. I guarantee you.
Yeah,
Parramatta will win this game.
Yeah.
Parramatta will win this game.
Okay, well, I'm tipping the Knights.
Parramatta will win this game. There's
Maybe it's because you tipped the Eels. Did you tip the Eels last week? You did.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Don't tip the Eels anymore, Nick.
I'm not.
Parramatta will win this game. The Knights are terrible.
Yeah, I'm going the Eels, by the way.
I'm going Knights.
Okay.
George?
I'm going to Eels. Parramatta will win this
Newcastle.
game. Yeah, Parramatta will win this game. Doesn't matter. Parramatta will win this game.
Bulldogs, Roosters.
I want to believe, so I'm going to Dogs.
Bulldogs.
Dogs. Yeah,
I want to believe. I want to believe.
Dolphins, Warriors.
Dolphins.
That's Suncorp.
Yeah.
Suncorp.
Yeah.
You know
I'll
what?
go to Dolphins.
I'm going to go. I'm going the Warriors because no, there's something I see. I see stability. I'm going the Warriors.
I'll go to Dolphins. Cowboys, Seagulls at Townsville. I've got to go North Queensland.
Yeah,
Cowboys. Yeah.
There can only be one winner here. The Cows will win, and I think they might win well.
Sharks, Storm at Cronulla. I have to go Storm.
I'm going to go Sharks.
I'm going to go Sharks. It's going to be a Saturday night, the 7 o'clock slot at the prison. This is their chance. This is the Sharks' chance. I want to see what they did last week. I want to see them back it up.
Broncos at home to the Dragons.
Intriguing game.
Definitely going the Broncos here. They have to bounce back.
I'm going Broncos.
Okay, so
I'll go watch it.
I might feel a bit sorry for the Dragons this week. I think the Broncos really have to bounce back.
And that's what I'm going to say now. T, no excuses here, yeah, because the Broncos know exactly what the St. George is going to do. They get we know what Flano's going to do. He's going to go and try to bully him out of the game. Okay, so they know what they're going to do. But guess what? The Broncos, all they have to do is play how they played against Canterbury, and the Broncos will win and win well. And guess who's playing 5'8" this week?
Who?
Israel Man. Israel Man's back. He got on report.
The only thing that's going against us at the moment, and Hunt being out. I'm still going Broncos. Like we're bigger than the Dragons too, and it's at home.
It's at home, yeah. Hunt's been going terrible the last couple of weeks. I think he must be carrying an injury. I can't believe he's going that bad. So he must be under an injury cloud. And I think Israel Man might be the turning point. I hate to say it, but Israel Man might be the turning point.
I think it will be.
Yeah, he carved up apparently when they play opposing.
He's a class player.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
they play like they do contact during the week. They play oppose, and he plays in the Reggie's team, and he carves up his own team.
Yeah.
He carves up the Broncos. So yeah, he didn't have a great game apparently at Ipswich, but I don't think he was dialed in. But anyway,
The Raiders are at home to the Gold Coast.
Ooh.
Why
I
are
have to
the
go
Raiders playing at home again?
I know they're like Manly. They play every game at home. I have to go the
They've
Raiders.
been on the road for the last month.
Ricky Stewart's going to smash them.
Yeah.
Ricky Stewart's going to.
They were at home last week.
Yeah.
They were at home last week. Yeah. Unfortunately, I want to see the Titans do well because of Desi, but yeah, Ricky's going to kill him. So the Raiders will win.
And finishing out the round, the Tigers are at Campbelltown, where they don't have a good record against the Rabbitohs. I'll be going the Rabbitohs in this one.
I have no idea.
I'm going Tigers because I hate the Rabbitohs after last week.
Yeah, Campbelltown should be the deciding factor.
Yeah, they haven't won too many.
You know, sometimes emotional tipping does help. I was going to tip the Titans last round.
I'm having a shocker this year in tipping.
I know.
I'm scared to ask Artie. You know what? I want to see a response. I'm not sure who's coming back from for the Rabbits, but I'm going to try to believe and say the Tigers. And let me tell you why. I went to Mother's Day, obviously, last Sunday, and of course the score was in because they played at 2 o'clock, and I went in the afternoon. So my father wasn't a happy chappy.
No, imagine not.
My father wasn't a happy chappy, and what he said was "chaya." Chaya means shit again. We're shit again, sort of thing. So yeah, he didn't talk too much. I was talking to Mum a lot on the day. So go, Dad.
Well,
and
I'll
that's
go the
round.
Bunnies, and the Panthers have the bye.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank
And
God.
that's it. Now we don't have Artie here for Super League. So do you guys have anything?
It was
for us?
Challenge Cup.
Okay.
So we don't follow Challenge Cup. Well, we do. We know who's in the final. Hull FC and Sam's team, Warrington, are in the final later this month. And in the girls, the girls for some unknown reason they showed it on Fox. Did you watch the girls Super League, Tanya? It was like
No.
pulling teeth out. It was so boring. It was like pulling teeth. But stupid me sat there and watched it all. St Helens and Featherstones are in that final. And I won't be watching that final, Nicola. I won't be watching the girls' final there, but I'll be watching the Challenge Cup in a month or so. That's Super League, and Super League starts again this week.
Cool. And you have anything for us?
No, I am. Yeah, it's just been interesting. And I think I was saying to Nick yesterday, like the boys have been sick, and I think I'm kind of getting a little bit downhill. Like,
really?
but I'm fine. But it's just when you're kind of a little bit foggy.
Yeah.
It was just it was a weird round off the back of a weird Magic round, and then we're going to see. I said to a couple of my friends that are watching it more intensely, purely because I'm forcing them to watch it with me this year. You'll see it get a bit more strange during Origin, because obviously the people that are in Origin camp, they're gonna, the teams that they're part of, those teams, it's a great opportunity for Tigers to really get some points.
Well, they might have a few out themselves.
Yeah, but it's I don't know. I feel like they have love Magic Round, but I feel like it's not like a mini Origin, but it is.
Magic Round was the week before.
Yeah, I know, but it's just quite intense, right? And then off the back of all these crazy charges, and I was looking, where is that? I was looking at the fines and stuff that just came off the back of last round. It's crazy. Where is it? I wrote it down. And it's just it's just wild. I don't know. One, where are all these players getting all this money from?
I don't think that
charges.
I don't think they pay for it too.
Is it going to get to a point where the suspensions are going to overlap, and then the guys are not going to have any players?
Yeah, who knows?
See, this hurts me, but you know why all this is happening? In 20 years, they want to say that we did our very best to protect the players. And because of that, because of that, and everybody's hanging on that class action. Everybody is hanging, and that's why it's going for so long. If that class action is in favour of the players, every contact sport in the world is going to shit their pants.
Oh, yeah. But also, if the players are playing, I think I said this last week, but if the players are playing cautiously, oh no, I was saying it to my mate. I'm actually going to get him on the potty. He is awesome. Chris McPherson. I think I've told you about him, George. He does ground commentating for TV. So it's similar to, I guess, Sen, but more the local stuff. And he was suggesting that maybe I do some ground commentating stuff up here for the local games, which would be really
Fun.
need to
Kick
get
up.
going first. But he's Newcastle, and I said to him he should come on the potty, which he'd love to do. He just needs to line it up. I said we do it on a Tuesday. But yeah, we had this massive chat about it, and obviously we're talking about everything else, like player managers and that kind of stuff. But I was saying to him, if we're running at each other full steam, we're not going to get as hurt as much as one that's being more hesitant than the other one.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So if the guy's being more hesitant, there's more injuries, and I was saying to him, like I said to you guys, there's so many more injuries in the last 18 months, and it's because people are being too cautious.
Yeah.
So if it does go this way, we might not have a sport, but we might have a lot of injuries, which is what we're seeing at the moment.
Yeah. Every team's got a massive injury toll. A lot
Yeah.
of teams, six injured is nothing these days.
Well,
Six players out.
so for the NRL to protect us, or protect the players, I just roll myself in there, but protect the players, they're actually causing more injuries and confusion.
I agree, T. I agree. You know what? I'll tell you what's ironic. They want to speed the game up. So 6 agains, 6 agains, what else do they do? All those things that make the speed the game up. But wait a minute. We get you under fatigue, but you've got to be careful. You can't hit head or shoulder of anyone. So they're shooting themselves in the foot by trying to make the game faster and fatiguing people.
Yeah.
What are they doing? What are they they're telling us one thing and doing something else. So, I don't know. But the worst thing about this is this. They sit in front of their computer and they see the highest television ratings of all time. Most revenue of all time. So you know what they say? They pat themselves on the back and they said, we're doing a great fucking job. Guess what? No, they're not. No,
Yeah.
they're not doing a great job. But anyway, that's what Volandis thinks. He's doing a great job. That's what he thinks.
Is he still buying into? I haven't looked into that. The Super League, is it 100%?
I hope he doesn't. But if Nick Politis is looking to buy into Salford, I'd say he'll buy into Super League. He'll buy Super League because he wants to get into Europe. He wants to try to get some feeder teams for the NRL.
It's going to be quite redundant if this class action goes ahead, and he would have wasted money and should have bought a soccer team.
Well, yeah. I'm telling you now, everybody, because I listen to a lot of pods, even overseas pods, and I listen to a rugby pod as well. I listen to soccer pods, and this class action is on everybody's mind.
But it's not going to be done for a few years. They still have.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Manipulate it for other people.
It's been going on for 2 years as well now. So it's a big decision.
I know.
It's a massive.
But it will also, for the newcomers, like we're just going to have less intake as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you're playing now, you could be like, let's just go to Union. I was talking to Corey's mate Shane. I feel like you met him, Nick, when you were here. He was saying in the AFL, because he does still follow, like he got very excited watching the Broncos game, which was not the game to get excited about. So I invited him over to watch the Dragons because that was his team. But he was saying it's really similar in AFL, exactly the same stuff.
Yeah, protecting the head and neck.
Yep.
Yeah,
But bad ref calls, they're being really hesitant on injuries and lots of suspensions, which I never look into AFL, but that was a surprise. It seems to be everywhere.
Abuse.
Yeah.
It's not good. Listen, and just to cap off the night, on Thursday night, we're going to sit in front of our televisions, T, and we're going to watch, well, Nico's not, but we're going to watch the girls' Origin. It is an Origin
Enjoy.
Origin game. New South Wales 1-0 up, so it's being played in Sydney. So I guess we're in the box seat, but I've got this gut feeling Queensland's going to do what Queensland does. New South Wales will be going for their power game. They got their big, fast, mobile pack, and even their backs. People like Jessica Surgis and Isabel Kelly, which just look like forwards who play in the centres. So they'll be going for their power game. I want to. The youngsters are starting to drift in, and Nico, our Parramatta fullback Abby Church, who was the man of the match in the first game. She's only a youngster. She had
Was that the unit that acted Josh Kerr?
unit. No, you're talking about Ellie
was her
Johnston.
Yeah,
big
Ellie.
unit.
Yeah, it was her debut.
Big unit. Yeah, good play. She's got to try too. No, Abby Church, love her. She's a little petite thing, but really, really quick. And I'm really happy to see them picking youngsters because they pick the tried and true people.
Yeah.
They picked Jessie Southwell as well, which is about time because she's probably the best half in the game. And for you, T, the best player in the game, of course, Tamika Upton. You must know Tamika.
Yeah. Great.
And Julia
Roberts. Julie Robson.
Julia Roberts.
She kills it.
Julia
Hey, Robinson.
she's
Ali
a weapon.
Brigginshaw's really good, actually.
Brigginshaw playing seven,
now.
and Nicola knows Ali Brigginshaw. She's moved to seven, so she should controlling the game. This is going to be good. This will be good. It's physical, it's clean, and I can't wait. I'm tipping New South Wales, and I'm sure T's tipping Queensland.
Yeah.
So
Even if we had 5 players, I'd tip Queensland.
Okay, and that's it. But it's good to watch, and that's us, Nicola.
That's it. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Okay.
That's a wrap. Well, enjoy the Origin. Enjoy the rounds.
Next week we'll be talking
Origin.
in terms of what the two coaches have picked, and I can't wait to see how close we are. And happy rugby league, everybody.
Looking forward to it.
Happy Rugby
Thanks, Tan.
League.
Have a great week, everyone. Good night.
Thanks, guys.